What's up, everyone? Welcome to CineMike. For this episode, I'm going to review Wonder Woman, the character's first feature film since her introduction into comics back in 1942. Many people wondered what took so long for the most popular female superhero to leap onto the silver screen. The closest that she ever got before this was the popular 1975 TV show starring Linda Carter. Sadly, the truth is that people just suck, and the suits were worried that she couldn't pull in the same box office numbers as her male counterparts. This is despite the fact that her stories have been around longer than many of them. When you think of DC, you think of the Trinity: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. It was way past time for her to get the cinematic respect that she deserves. She made her feature debut in Batman vs. Superman, and even with the limited role that they gave her in that, we could all see what a scene stealer she was. Some fans at first seemed concerned if Gal Gadot was the right actress to breathe life into the character, but she shut the doubters up. The real concern here was in the creative team that would be delivering her movie. So far, their track record has not been that great. While the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been met with universal praise, the DC Extended Universe has split and divided its audience. Many of them found the film's disappointments. I'm among those people. I don't hate the movies, but I find them too brooding and dry. So I was cautiously optimistic coming into Wonder Woman. DC had something to prove to me. So did they finally get it right with this one? Well, I'm here to tell all of you DC fans out there to relax, because Wonder Woman does deliver. The DC Extended Universe has finally got it right. Boom! It still has the gritty and darker style of Snyder's work, but it provides the correct balance of humor and fun to accent its well-developed story and characters that the previous films just never got right. What really struck me was the film's pacing and its narrative structure. I just felt swept away by it all. It provided everything it needed to keep me engaged, and it just moved along at like a brisk pace, and I never felt bored. You feel like you grow with Diana, aka Wonder Woman, as the movie follows her from being a wide-eyed idealistic child and into a seasoned warrior. The movie does a great job of endearing its audience to Diana through her naive oversimplification of everything. This works well for a lot of the humor with her leaving a sheltered life in Themyscira and into the real world for the first time. It makes her the perfect fish-out-of-water character. She has funny commentary on everything: fashion, ice cream, and even men's privates. All of this invests you so that it breaks your heart when she realizes just how dark the world can be. She starts off wanting to place all of the blame for the devastation from World War I on Ares, the god of war, but once she reaches the front lines, she finds that the truth is much more complicated. This could be looked at as commentary for some young soldiers who go into war with perhaps idealistic notions of good versus evil, to then just be hit with the brutal reality of it all. All of this rides on the shoulders of Gal Gadot, who returns from Batman vs. Superman to play Wonder Woman, and she completely lives up to the name. She's wonderful, and no one can deny that she owns this role. She has all of the strength and wisdom that the character demands. She imbues Diana with compassion and love, and she balances the drama and comedy. She does all of this, but she also brings something much more. It's that it factor, that hard-to-explain quality that just makes someone special. And when you see Wonder Woman step out onto the battlefield with a German army taking aim at her, you know that a star has arrived. That scene gave me chills. Also fantastic here is her co-star, Chris Pine, as Steve Trevor. His character could have had an action movie of his own. He has all the qualities of a classic action star. He's got the charisma, the humor, and the strength. Pine and Gadot's chemistry is on fire. Very often in these movies, a love story can feel forced and artificial, but this one completely works. It's also an important factor in Diana's character arc. Steve's team of misfits who accompany him and Diana onto the battlefield, they're lots of fun to watch. Each one of them is really unique and feel like an ensemble from a classic war movie from the good old days. Lucy Davis also plays a really fun character who is Steve's secretary, Etta. Robin Wright, Connie Nielsen, and the rest of the Amazons are also total badasses. If you twisted my arm for one criticism about the cast of characters, then I suppose it would be for the villain, General Eric Ludendorff, played by Danny Huston. He's a solid actor, but the character is perhaps a little too one-dimensional. He is just a standard mustache-twirling bad guy. I suppose that they had him this way to personify Diana's views of evil, but it doesn't make him very interesting to watch. I basically feel the same way about Dr. Poison, who develops the deadly gas that Ludendorff wants to unleash upon the world. She was serviceable, but not really all that memorable. It's also an odd choice to have Ludendorff as a villain in the movie because he was actually a real historical German general from World War I. I feel like coming up with a fictional villain might have been the better way to go because it would have granted more creative freedom. That said, there is some interesting developments with Diana's quest to kill Ares, the god of war, that I don't want to spoil here. But, you know, it's pretty hard to think of any real big issues that I had with this movie. I could nitpick about how this seems to borrow a little from Captain America: The First Avenger, the whole World War setting, and like how Steve's team are similar to Roger's Howling Commandos, or Diana's fish out of water story, and its humor could also be comparable to the first Thor movie. However, I thought that Wonder Woman handled these elements even better than those movies. I love those movies too, so that is high praise. I guess that I do have some mixed feelings about the finale. I do like the philosophical dilemma that Diana finds herself in, but I feel that it gets a bit too CGI heavy. I always feel a slight disconnect from the action when most of it feels like it's been done on a computer. But I should mention, though, that the action in general in this is fantastic. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen an action scene or fight choreography that pumped the audience up enough to cause them to openly applaud. For me, the biggest highlight is when Diana crosses no man's land and charges into the German front lines. People were going crazy in the theater for that. There is one moment where she jumps into a building and takes out a dozen guys, and it was awesome! I have to assume, with the improvement in quality from its predecessors, that a lot of the praise for this movie is due to the person sitting in that director's chair, Patty Jenkins, who directed Charlize Theron in the Oscar-nominated film Monster. I think that the finished product reflects Jenkins' great talents. She had a huge responsibility to get this right. She met the challenge and surpassed expectations. I just hope that she sticks around in the DCEU because she has shown here that she knows how to do these movies right. She has restored my faith in the potential for this franchise, and I thank her. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the very best that this particular film could be for me, I would give Wonder Woman an 8.5. And that's all I've got for you this time. Click like if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me if you agree or disagree, and I of course welcome you to subscribe to the channel. So until next time, this is Mike, signing off.